Greetings from Jobsite India. World top news, a new initiative from our end. Hope you all will enjoy. So, without further delay, let's start our first important news. Russian law seeks to tighten control over US internet tech giant. The Russian parliament has passed legislation that would oblige US tech giants to open offices in Russia by January 2022 or face punishments. Russia has fined US internet companies Facebook and Twitter for not deleting content the country bans. The law further calls for those websites do not open local offices to potentially be barred from search engines and prohibited from posting Russian advertising on their sites. Let's move to our important news. Iran ultraconservative cleric Ibrahim Rezai named presidential election winner. Congratulations poured in for ultraconservative Ibrahim Rezai Saturday on winning Iran's presidential election as his rivals concerned even before official results were announced. The other three candidates in the race all congratulated him for his victory, which had been widely expected after a host of heavyweight rivals had been barred from running. I congratulate the people on their choice, said outgoing moderating President Hassan Rouhani without naming Raisi. My official congratulations will come later, but we know who got enough votes in this election and who is elected today by the people. Let's move to our next important news. Large increase in funding to enforce antitrust enforcement in new bill. If the bill is passed, all antitrust enforcement would become the responsibility of the Department of Justice and removed from the Federal Communications Commission and the Federal Trade Commission. The bill was introduced by US Senators Mikhail Sumai Lee and Charles Ernest Grossley on June 15. The bill will also lead to a considerable increase of the $600 million in funding for enforcement of laws by the Justice Department's Antitrust Division. Let's move to our next important news. Myanmar protesters wear flowers to mark Soe Kis' 76th birthday. Yangon, Myanmar. Anti-coup protesters in Myanmar donned flowers in their hair Saturday to mark the birthday of ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi, who remains under house arrest and is due to face court again next week. Suu Kyi's elected government was overthrown in February, one coup that sparked mass protest and renewed clashes between the military and ethnic rebel armies in border regions. Flower tucked into a bun have long been signature look of Suu Kyi, who turned 76 on Saturday. Many replicated the floral hairstyle and uploaded pictures onto social media across Myanmar on Saturday. Let's move to our next important news, please. Apple daily editor Ryan Law, CEO Seang Kim Hung denied bail in Hong Kong. Two executives of Hong Kong pro democracy newspaper Apple Daily, charged under a national security law, were denied bail on Saturday in case that has drawn international condemnation and stoked fears over media freedoms in the financial hub. Editor in chief Ryan Law, 47, and Chief Executive Officer Siang Kim Hung, 59, are among five Apple Daily executives arrested on Thursday when 500 police also raided the outlet's newsroom, which authorities described as a crime scene. Let's move to our next important news. 16 dead, 22 missing in a week after heavy rain batters Nepal. Kathmandu. At least 16 people have died while 22 are still missing due to flooding and landslide incidents in Nepal since Sunday as monsoon rain battered the Himalayan nation. The Ministry of Home Affairs has recorded the mayhem caused by monsoon raining over half a dozen districts where 16 people, including 3 foreign nationals, have lost their lives. Let's move to another important news, please. Study shows 96% of doctors vaccinated against COVID. Greater than 96% of America's practicing physicians are fully vaccinated against COVID 19, according to the American Medical Association. The national survey was conducted June 3 to 8 and indicated an increase of more than 20% of physicians vaccinated compared to May poll. To encourage physicians to become vaccinated against the COVID infection, the American Medical Association sponsored a webinar series entitled What Physicians Need to Know. Let's move to our next important slide. China countering foreign sanctions through Wolf Warrior Diplomacy Report. Beijing. In order to counter new foreign sanctions, China started with Wolf Warrior Diplomacy to dissuade G7 member states from imposing new sanctions against Beijing under pressure from the US. It was Chinese President Xi Jinping himself who first introduced China's Wolf Warrior diplomacy. Wolf Warrior diplomacy originated from what Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi referred to as Xi's great diplomatic philosophy, reported Newsweek. Moreover, it was Xi himself who bolstered the Chinese public's sense of nationalism as a part of strategy to further consolidate his power and increase his prestige. Let's move to our next important news, please. Can old traditions and tech help Singapore reach zero waste? You can hear Madam Angie trundling down the road long before you see her. In the quiet of the early morning, the low rumble of her heavily laden trolley reverberates through the streets of the historic Siang Baru area of Singapore. Madam Angie is a Karanguni trader, one of the rag and bone collections who have traditionally picked up the things people throw away. This includes everything from old newspapers, drink cans, second-hand clothes to unwanted electronic devices. They usually sell them on the other Karanguni trader or recycling firms. Let's move to another slide, please. Australia takes China to World Trade Organization over wine duties. Sydney, Australia. Australia will take China before the World Trade Organization over Beijing's imposition of crippling tariffs on Australian wine exports, it announced Saturday. In the latest sign of worsening tensions between the two countries, the decisions to defend Australia's winemakers come 6 months after Australia lost a separate protest at the WTO over tariffs on Australian barley and in line with the government's support for the rules based on trading system, said in a statement. It added, however, that Australia remains open to engaging directly with China to resolve this issue. Let's move to next slide, please. Tokyo Olympics. No spectators is less risky option. Having no spectators at the Tokyo Olympics is the less risky option, Japanese medical experts have said. In a report, they warned there was a risk of movement of people who spread COVID infections and strain in the country's medical systems. But other Japanese officials have indicated they want domestic fans to attend if possible. Foreign spectators have already been banned. The Olympics, originally meant to happen last year, will open on 23rd July. Let's move to our next important news, please. Flying Sikh Milkha Singh, independent India's first sporting superstar, dies at 91. Milkha Singh never looked back in anger at that one moment when you'd faithfully looked back, missing what could have been India's greatest track and field medal, a bronze at the Rome Olympics in 1960 by zero point 0.1 seconds, independent India's first sporting superstar Tata Nelson entering its teens, what a heartbreak felt like. An army man who impressed a Pakistani general so much that he gave him a famous moniker Flying Sikh, a track legend who put India at the starting block of the biggest sporting stage, and a trailblazer who demanded excellence from all those who represented the country. Milkha Singh passed away from COVID related complications late Friday at the age of 91. Let's move to our next important slide. Thanks for watching till end. You all are kindly requested to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for latest updates from our end. Till our next video, to take care of yourself and have a great moment ahead. Thank you once again.